Oscar, have you ever been sucker punched?
I have been sucker punched, but when I got sucker punched, all the comic book, boom.
Oh, did you get flopped?
I got flopped. I got whammed. I got whippity dooped.
Oh, did you get shammed?
I got shammed.
What about
I got shammed, and I was going. It was bloody on the corner of a road. It was pretty brutal. I was in hospital for 2 weeks, but the
I
comic
remember
panel,
being by your side.
It was, and that's what bonded us. I needed you in that moment. I'm glad.
My mother had died from a thwap.
Oh yeah, it's a tragedy that affects about 400,000 people a year.
It's a massive amount.
It's pretty crushing. On that sad note, my name is Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And this is Who Would Watch This, sponsored by Solemn.
If you have ever been sucker punched or feel that you are the victim of being a sucker,
please call
us on the following number.
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, a podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Sucker Punch, which currently has a 6 on IMDb, a 2.7 on Letterboxd, and a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oscar, what's the plot?
A young girl institutionalized by her abusive stepfather retreats to an alternate reality as a coping strategy and envisions a plan to help her escape. Wow. Wow.
Damn. Holy shit.
Carl, I'm pretty excited. But before we even
this is going to be the best movie we've ever done.
It might be.
Crazy.
Let's go back to last week before we'd experienced life, huh?
Oscar, sucker punched?
Yes, sucker punched.
Why have you picked this?
Because one, I feel like people haven't seen the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, the owl one.
Oh, we should totally do the owl one.
I know, but I don't think anyone's seen it.
I don't care. It could be for us. I don't care anymore.
It's just a little treat. No, God, have you seen the owl? I've seen it.
I've seen the owl one.
I couldn't remember where I've seen it. Maybe I get confused with.
Might have lived it.
With Golden Compass, I feel like those two combine pretty easily in my mind.
One's animated, the other one a polar bear.
Oh, gotcha. I thought one was real owls. Zack Snyder just really committed to them. No, we're doing this because I feel like Zachy S is in the news.
Rebel Moon's
doing good?
No.
Oh. But part 2 really reclaims it, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, they're meant to be bad. The trailers don't look good. I know that Zack Snyder came out and said he thought more people watched Rebel Moon on Netflix than saw Barbie in cinemas last year.
Whoa.
So I don't know if that is...
Wait, he thought that?
I mean,
it's just his, I felt like vibe-wise, that was what happened.
Do you reckon he can, just say that in a pitch meeting?
I guess
just hope nobody
who
checks
actually
it.
gets to know the Netflix statistics? Surely it's him and the CEO. Him patting people oh, I've seen the numbers. We're doing real well. Owls Ga'Hoole, 1 trillion people watched, huh? That's massive. No, he's in the news, and I feel like there was rumors that Sucker Punch might get a remix, a recut.
But an R-rated Snyder cut?
I feel like we did that last time for the Justice League one. And people came, and that people like that the new one, right?
Yeah, I think it was better than the Joss Whedon version, but I think people definitely didn't bother to watch it.
No.
I think everyone thought maybe the Snyder Cut concept will take off. It didn't.
No.
I know some people watched it, but it was not a raging success by any means.
It's hard as a pitch. We re-edited it hells yeah. It's 4 hours. And it's in a weird aspect ratio, and it seems like everyone was fuming.
So, Oscar, have you seen Sucker Punch before?
I have. I watched it maybe in cinemas, and then I watched it a few times.
You saw this in cinemas?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I don't know. I think I was allowed. It was PG-13, so I was allowed. I've seen it in cinemas, and I think I saw it on DVD recently. I feel like it's pretty heinous. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I went back. I'm I give it a 1.
You've seen it twice?
Yeah.
Twice?
In my life.
Well,
yeah.
And wow, soon to be a third time.
I think it had a sleepover. I think the idea was, and I guess we'll spoil who would watch this, but a bunch of horny teens were like, that'll be sick. I think we kind of left with a sort of a general disgust,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Carl, have you seen this one?
Yeah, I saw the back half of it on a cruise ship.
Wow, they were wait. So I got bullied for seeing it in movies, and yet a cruise ship was showing Sucker Punch on that massive screen in the middle.
No, it was on the revolving movie channel.
Gotcha.
Which is why I only caught the last half of it. It's also how I got the movie The Prestige spoiled for me.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I only caught the last half of movies on this goddamn cruise ship.
That's the thing. The cruise ship is way more cheaper to just show the last half.
Saw the first half of Soul Surfer on it. Oh, God.
Man, jumping into Soul Surfer teeing off with Sucker Punch and then you gain the prestige spoil for you.
Yeah.
That's a good cruise. Disney cruises, huh? They're real cheap at the moment.
Yeah, I saw it on a cruise. I think I was probably too young to. I think maybe I've always thought this movie was bad. But I also think I thought that maybe the movie was meant to be good and it was just too adult.
Yes.
Because it does have so many adult themes in it.
Yeah, it feels wrong. Like, it doesn't feel like
It feels. Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah.
I
haven't seen it in such a long time, but I
No.
remember thinking it's a sort of borderline offensive film.
Yeah, I remember the kid being like, "Oh, I don't know, that didn't feel right," and like, yeah, I'm keen to see what if it's maybe it handles the themes really well, and we just need to be a bit more sure to get.
I know. Wouldn't it be crazy if this was like Snyder's Shining?
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's back in a big way.
No, Gahul's that. Everyone knows that.
We're absolutely doing Gahools next week. We have to do it, please.
Oh, do Gahools.
Please.
I hear there's a Snyder cut. It's 4 hours long.
That's his highest rated movie, I'm pretty sure, is the House of Gahool.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead or Watchmen or something?
No, I think it's House of Gahool.
By who? Critics?
Everyone. I think everybody loves the House of Gahool.
Wow, it's slotted just between The Godfather 1 and 2
Okay.
and IMDb's top 100.
What do we think its Rotten Tomatoes score is?
I reckon like 70.
Okay. But if it's 95%.
Fuck off.
No, 52. That's still like his highest, I think.
No, surely what? Oh, maybe
What's he done that wouldn't be rotten on Rotten
Dawn
Tomatoes?
of the Dead, Dawn of the that one.
Oh yeah, his Dawn of the Dead's quite good. What's his? It is Dawn of the Dead with 76%.
That's alright.
That is not that high. God, he does not make very critic.
No, and then I was like, oh, well, maybe he's just got an audience, but it seems like the audience is pretty divided as well. But everyone keeps going to see the movies.
I know. It seems his like worst movies are the Rebel Moon series that has just come out. I don't think this guy's a screenwriter. I think that's the thing. I think anything he writes is bad, and I think anything he's just like, because I think Watchmen's become a pretty good film.
People love Watchmen.
I really like Watchmen. So. And I remember not used to liking it because I think his visual style was just so... it's just so dreary and slow. Why? Why does everything happen so slow?
I was going to slow-mo, they get speed run. Bang, bang,
Yeah,
bang.
No, it's too much. Things need to quicken. Things need to fucking quicken themselves. Oscar, who do you think Sucker Punch is going to be for?
If I remember, I guess I was going to say horny teens, but I don't think I enjoyed it as a teen. I think.
Were you horny at the end of it though?
I remember a girl I was dating at the time loved the movie though, so I don't really know. No.
Oh.
This is my first, and she loved it.
Wow.
So I guess it's for my ex-girlfriend.
Good for
when I was
her.
15.
Damn it, that's what I was gonna say.
But she was beautiful.
Yeah. Turns out we both dated the same person in high school.
Who would you watch it, Carl?
Oh my God.
You can say an ex. Fuck it. We can get.
Oh no, none of my exes would have enjoyed this. I cannot think of who would watch it. This is probably up there as one of the like longest points at which I haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
So
It's just a blur. You
yeah,
just can't
such a
remember.
blur.
You just don't remember. What do you remember from it?
So I remember being so much slow motion. I remember there being a mental asylum.
Yeah.
And I remember there being like giants and zombies and nonsense. I remember being pure nonsense, really. And I also remember a scene where the villain kills everyone.
Yeah.
And I always remember quite liking that scene.
Yes.
So who would it be for? It's gotta be for teen boys, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It must be for teenagers. I remember the movie. I know this is the biggest complaint, right? Is that this one's so video gamey.
No,
right?
I think the biggest the controversy at the time was like, hey, this is very sexist, and the reason I wanted to do this one is because Zack Snyder came out and went, it's actually not, and didn't really have anything to back it up, but just sort of went, it's not as, maybe look a bit closer.
Who do I think it's for? Teenage boys and teenagers.
Lock it in.
It's just for teenagers, surely.
Carl, Sucker Punch.
Woof.
Okay, let's
Big
just
woof.
Should we get the context out of the way first? One, I'm not happy. I've rented this
Who would
twice.
be?
I've rented this twice. I've rented this twice because last week you went, "Hey, let's do a double feature." I went, "Great. I'll start renting Sucker Punch. I'll watch an hour." And you went, "Oh, I really don't want to do it. I haven't seen it." I went, "That's fine. I'll try and smash it out." Forgot to watch it. Went, "Fuck. I will then rent it again for a second time." Turns out, the second I finished it, Tubi sends me an email going, "Hey, by the way, Sucker Punch is free today." So Tubi.
Really?
Tubi's got this masterpiece, huh?
Wow. Damn, this is at home on Tubi for sure. This is perfect Tubi.
It's pretty Tubi weather.
How did you enjoy your 2 viewing experience?
I feel like this is the best way to consume it in just little dribs and drabs because luckily the plot doesn't really matter. It's kind of nothing.
The plot doesn't matter.
Carl, how are you? How did you view this one, huh?
I was thrown for a loop in terms of what I remembered and what the movie was.
Yes.
So so because the movie has essentially 3 tiers.
Yes.
Has the insane asylum.
Yeah.
Has the brothel.
The brothel imagination section.
Yeah, and then on top of that is
the actual like visually video game memory.
Yeah, so it was weird that it was like, this is the reality.
Yeah.
This is a fantasy.
Yeah.
And this is an additional fantasy on top of that.
100%.
In my mind, the movie had a very clear real world fantasy timeline.
Yes.
Crazy there's 2 fantasy timelines.
It's weird they've got like a 2-tiered system of how deep you need to go
I know.
fantasy-wise.
Had Inception come out yet? It seemed like he was threatened.
I don't know.
And he was like, it needs to be complex.
It needs to be another layer.
Yeah.
It needs to be another couple layers.
I think one of the things that really frustrated me about this movie was how deep I think the movie thought it was.
That is, and I've got to tell you, I'm not too happy. I've looked around, and it seems like in the last month, people are like, should we re-examine this?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. It's a lot. Okay, when it first came out, everyone was like, hey, that's kind of weirdly pretty like it's just scantily dressed women. And I think the message is kind of trying to be like, maybe we're trying to show that will show exploitation through it. And everyone went, oh, you didn't do a very good job of that. And also the cinema release got a different cut.
Oh, did it?
I remember watching a different cut when I watched it in cinemas.
Yeah.
I remember watching this one, and then I was surprised. I was like, I remember John Hamm being a lot more. Spoilers, he's in it. And I went back and looked at the deleted scenes. There's 3 versions.
Yeah.
There's the one we watched just then, the cinema one.
Okay, well, actually, how long was your version?
An hour 45.
Right, so I accidentally watched one that was 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Did you? Okay,
Yes.
that's the better version. Did you feel it?
Oh, whoa. Oh,
That's my thing. Everyone's like, no, you gotta watch. Everyone keeps doing this Zack Snyder things like, you've actually gotta watch the scene, the one that's much longer. It's so much better. Normally it's just a bit more blood and an extra scene. You're like, ugh, I guess you could have cut
out of
that.
curiosity, did Oscar Isaac have an extended singing number in your version?
No. How?
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's so much of the movie.
Do you know what's so annoying? All the people that have been like, you gotta re-examine, this is great. Everyone going, that scene was vital. It really sets the tone. And I could tell, I was feeling like as a producer, went, yeah, you could have cut that. We can make this a good hour 30.
So in my mind, I knew going in that there was no way you would have accidentally watched the extended cut, and I was fucking saddled with it on the streaming service I was watching it on. And I was like, that means in my head I've got 17 minutes to fast forward of this movie.
Where did you think you were fast forwarding through?
So I kept having an interior battle in my mind being like, would this be in the real movie or would this be in the extended cut? And I had that battle all through Oscar Isaac doing this 7-minute fucking song number. Like with him and Gina Carano just like, whoa, hey, love is a drug. And like, it's like a burlesque show.
Yeah.
And all of is that really not in it?
That's not in it.
The girls do so much. It's so camp. It's suddenly like Moulin Rouge is unfolding in Sucker Punch. I hated the scene, but I loved its camp.
Oh, it's like levity finally, because mine's dreary and drab the whole way through, and they drop the ball on their message for the whole time. Carl, should we just get into the plot?
Okay, yeah. So let's get into the beginning. I think the beginning of the movie is so bizarre. It's so slow, near black and white, but colored, and is just a music video.
Yeah.
So much of this movie is a fucking music
Either
video.
a music video or the second tier fantasy scenes is like a PlayStation game.
Yeah, it is. It's all absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
The opening of the movie is it, what's it, Baby Doll?
Baby doll.
Yeah, Baby Doll there has a sister and their mum has died, and it's the stepfather has killed the mum to get the fortune.
Yeah.
And the mum has left the fortune to the two girls,
Yeah.
and so he decides to abuse the two girls. Baby Doll stands up to him, shoots him, doesn't kill him, but one of the bullets does kill his sister.
Yeah.
Does kill her sister.
Yeah.
Very dark opening. So hard to take seriously
Yeah.
in this film, right?
Well, that's why you had the burlesque dance to sort of bring the levity back in. I didn't have that, so I was just sad. I was just sad the whole time.
But it's like, you know, you can see the behind the camera. They're like, this is fucking raw. This is great. And you're there watching this overproduced, melodramatic opening, and you're like, this is not serious in the slightest.
No.
And it feels...
Well, because it's also like in like a Tim Burton house, of like a haunted house. It's like, it's pretty dark here. You can tell by the exterior.
Yeah, it does. The beginning of it's like massive Batman Returns vibes, you know? Like, ugh. Anyway, it's just a really harrowing opening that is not given the right production.
No, it doesn't feel like it's like, this is deep. Well, it does. No, it feels like they wanted you to think it's deep, but it doesn't really earn that.
I just don't know why they've gone all slow-mo and then like a song.
Oh, and all the
intensely over the
new
top
metal
of it.
is pretty intense. All the
Oh,
songs are
yeah.
either on the nose, like, hey, where is my mind? Because, you know, we're crazy.
Yeah.
Or just like Bjork sped up or slowed down.
Yeah, should we talk about the song choices? Yeah, all bad, right?
Do
Do you like any of the song choices through this movie?
No, I mean, I like some of the songs, but it's more like they've got weird riffs of them on remixes, or they're very just like, all right, we're fighting some samurais. Do we have a song about, I don't know, fighting Japanese, turning Japanese players at one point? No, but they're all so on, like, it's kind of like, we're crazy.
Who let him make this film?
I don't know, because he wrote it with a pal, just his friend. I don't know. He hasn't done anything else. So I don't know. It didn't do very well at the box office. It made its budget back.
But why would it do well? If
Well,
you were
I
a
mean-
producer and you saw this, you'd be like, "This is actually terrible. This is a really terrible film."
Well, because it's weird because they've gone, okay, we'll make the film. I guess they got greenlit because they were like, I guess it's horny girls, and sort of like you could see the trailer being like, we can make this trailer pretty fucking enticing to teens.
That's true. It is. You could be like, "Oh yeah, we could do like a sizzle reel on this,
Yeah.
and it'll sell."
It will fucking sell. You go, what the hell is that? And you kind of just hope we can make $160 in the first week, and then we'll just run away. And they didn't get to do that.
The stepdad decides to take the daughter
Yeah.
to a mental institution.
asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He slips Oscar Isaac some money
Yeah.
to make sure she's lobotomized
Yes.
in the next 5 days.
Yeah.
Because Oscar Isaac has been forging the actual doctor's signature. So it just bypasses and gets lobotomized.
Yeah, so now we've got a countdown. We got Baby Doll. She get introduced to the family, I guess you would say.
Well, so I think this is...
We should also talk about the first kind of metaphor.
Okay, so just really quickly, maybe now I think maybe the extended cut screwed me over here. Is she introduced to them in the insane asylum, or is she introduced to them in the brothel?
She's wheeled in and they're doing like a fake play.
Yeah.
Did you get that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like the first, like, them sort of doing a bit... This is, I think, them trying to be like, okay, it's all a bit of an act and we're going through the different layers. And I think even, like, Jenna Maroney, which one's or Sweet Pea, I can't remember.
Yeah.
The main girl is just like, ugh, we're dressed so scantily. This is so sexist.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So the film knows it's doing this.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Zack Snyder. I think they wanted to do a bit more subtlety. My cut's insane. They drop the end monologue from John Hamm, so it's just nuts. Yeah. So it's a weird film.
Yeah, okay.
You're just left with nothing.
Where does your movie end then?
Well, so I mean, she helps the other one escape.
Yeah.
And then I shit you not, it smashes cut to the lobotomy being done. It's John Hamm goes, she had a weird twinkle in her eyes without the context of seeing John Hamm before. So it just seems like he was kind of weird about the lobotomy. It's like, she had a weird vibe. I didn't really love that. Without the monologue, it's so odd. It's so crazy.
Okay, huge. Wow.
Right? How nuts is
This
that?
movie's fucking nonsense. I don't understand how this is not streamlined. In terms of, it's crazy to me there's 3 different realities.
Yes,
right?
I think you should
Do 2.
just do 2.
Just do 2 realities.
Even if this like insane asylum's got this weird second area where they're doing like sort of burlesque show, something like that. It's weird. I feel you're confused because you're kind of like, is this like a second part?
That's what I think, and it's also, I feel like I can't see a thing up until they get into the fantasy.
No, 100%.
It's so fucking dark.
I
all
think
the
they've
time.
done a recut on this because I was looking at the deleted scenes and it's like much more blue in that.
Yeah,
They've fucked around with it so many weird little times. It's just so odd. But why?
It's
why
crazy.
for sucker punch? I don't get. They've tweaked every little thing. I'm just like, but the core of this film is not good.
Yeah.
Why bother?
So they go to lobotomize her, and the fantasy begins.
Yes.
They are all girls who are trapped by a mobster in a brothel, and they must dance. And then somebody, if they like them, will go and have some time with them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come up with the idea to escape.
Yes.
So, not Sweet Pea. I hate all the names.
Yeah.
Sweet Pea, Baby Doll. Baby Doll dances so well.
Yes. Her power in the second realm of imagination is that she can dance pretty well and hypnotizes the men.
Yeah.
What do you think this means? What do you think metaphorically this means? What does Zachy S mean by this? What do you think is literal? Because it could be literal. It could be literal. It could be that because the people aren't horny when they see her dance. They're just like they are stunned by her dancing, but not like in a horny way. They like go, that was beautiful. I think it's like
it made them see something about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're like, listen, you get dressed. You need to be on a stage because that was life-changing. That was moving. How could you do that? They hatch a plan and go, this is not good. We need to get out of here ASAP.
Yeah. So they come up with, okay, so when she goes into this state, whenever she's dancing, that's when the additional fantasy sequence starts.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so many different. Okay. So the first one, she's like in Japan.
Yeah. The first one is, and again, it's such a mashup of every horny 13-year-old boy is like, that looks sick.
Yeah.
It's a samurai dojo with like a skull ninja's gonna kill them.
Yeah.
They rip off the Matrix.
Yeah,
they take
essentially,
they take the it's crazy. They've got guns and they're just doing like the bullet time in the hallway of the lobby.
She is then told that she needs 4 things to escape.
Yes.
They need a map.
Yep.
They need fire. They need a knife.
And they need a key.
How
vague is this, huh?
And then on top of that...
I love their plan. They've got a chalkboard. They're like, well, we wrote the 4 things we need.
Oh my god, the chalkboard did my head in.
We've written the 4 things we need. So I guess we'll get those.
That's the plan.
Oscar Isaac later on flips the chalkboard and goes, what's this?
What the fuck is this?
It is 4
and
items.
then they all crumble being like, oh, he found it out. And I'm like, don't write it on the back of this chalkboard.
They go to such extra lengths to hide
Just remember.
It's 4 things.
It's 4 items. Imagine being around. Oh god. They're like, quick, go get the key, and then they're like, oh, what did I need? A glass, a candlestick, a table, headphones, a highlighter. That's what it was. A highlighter we needed. It's just stupid.
Because wait, so is their plan in the second level of imagination? Is this plan for the mobster area, or is it for the insane asylum?
Okay, so this plan is just for her.
Gotcha.
So because it's the whole misdirect is nobody else is ever going to escape. It's just about Sweet Pea.
Yes.
Okay. So when it's revealed,
because I feel like they're like, I don't know, metaphorically like combined, or like it's a symbolism.
It's
for, like,
the sister. It's the sister that she killed.
Yeah.
Getting a new lease on life. Right. So
a new lease on life is a funny way to say it. Like, whee!
Well, so because at the end it's revealed that she stole a map and stabbed an orderly and set a fire, and because of it, somebody escaped, and now she's getting lobotomized.
Yes.
So in the end, it was for nobody but her. But none of this has happened.
No.
This to me proves that she indeed was crazy.
Oh, you think rightfully so she got lobotomized?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, look, because it's like, unless she's in such a state from having killed her sister, which I would get.
Yeah.
this movie goes out of its way to prove that she should be in an insane asylum, I guess. I don't know.
Damn, I guess that's crazy. That's yeah.
She imagined not only a fantasy, but a fantasy on a fantasy.
You know what? A doctor would read that and go, Jesus Christ. You know what? We are about.
Yeah.
We haven't done it for years. We're doing it for you.
Because here's the thing: if I even recount this plot to somebody, I should be lobotomized.
Oh, you should.
So
definitely.
imagine it in the context of the movie.
It'd be kinda.
It would be kinda. I would love to have been lobotomized about midway through, because the movie gets set into a pattern that is just repetitive.
Now it's like, okay, we've got the 4 items. We've got the 1 item from the first dream. Well, let's go get that second item. And this is where the film, I think, I don't know what if Zack Snyder wanted this, but this is like, I guess, the meat of the film. It's them going to imaginary lands, which are quite fantastical. There's like the Lord of the Rings land. There's like the train Matrix cowboy Vietnam.
Yeah. I visually don't like these.
Yeah.
I don't think they looked good. Like, I think they're so overly stylized.
Yeah.
And I think it's a visual style that works in 300 and in Watchmen. But
It's a bit more comic book. In 300, I feel like it's that spot. It's just all fighting scenes, and that's kind of fine because it goes, we're just gonna do this.
Yeah.
But this just feels so forced, doesn't it? I don't know. Does the metaphor really work here? Because I can't really follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's just
can't.
it just feels like we're doing action. We want to do 4 movies. We don't really know how to do it.
And not only that, they're really boring. They're really, really boring. I can't really tell you much about these sequences.
There's no tension. There's no. What are you like fighting for?
Yeah.
Just sort of.
Well, let's get to if we pause that for a moment, because I want to get to the point that I think the movie does get a bit better.
Yeah.
Which is when Jenna dies.
Yes.
Right? So they have to steal a knife from the cook.
Yep.
The cook ends up stabbing and killing her.
Yes, in their like second imagination land, it goes wrong, goes awry, and then that translates into the world that it went wrong.
Suddenly, the film has stakes.
Yeah.
And so from the moment she is killed, the movie has like 15 minutes of leeway where I'm like, okay, I'm mildly interested again.
Yeah.
Because it's been so repetitive of, get this item, go into the fantasy.
Well, that wise man is always in all the imagination thing, like a Kill Bill-esque.
Oh, he's so wise.
It's very derivative of
the
so many
whole
things.
movie's so derivative of everything. Yeah. Anyway, but it's weird too, because I actually think, I mean, it would need to definitely be a more intelligent movie, but the idea that these girls are going to steal these objects and escape from a brothel feels like a really good, tense 90-minute film.
Well, I watched the 90-minute one. It wasn't good.
But if it's just that and none of the fantasy stuff and none of the asylum stuff.
And I feel like it's bogged down this weird... It's that sort of like, we're going to show exploitation through exploitation. I feel like Blonde. Have you seen? Do you see Blonde?
No.
Blonde also does sort of similar to that. I think Blonde does it better, but it's also a hard sell. It's like, oh, you're just kind of doing the thing, and that's not on. And I think the same with like Sucker Punch. Essentially, you kind of go, oh, like this is not on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's so just like these. Well, at one stage, the Jenna's like, baby doll, have you got any family? And she goes, no. And she's like, oh, that's right, you're an orphan. And it's just like sincerely, she says that. They've all just been through, you just hear all their backstories and they're just so, how tortured have you made every character? Like, how awful have you made all their lives? I guess because it's like there's no subtlety there, because the heightened concept is all their lives need to be so tortured that they would disappear into these fantasies.
Yes.
And they've got no other adult way of making it happen. So they've just gone, bear it all on your sleeves. You've all been horribly abused in different ways. And that's the only reason you would fantasize.
It's pretty upsetting, isn't it?
It's super upsetting. It's not This is a very distasteful film.
I think that's the issue. It's hard to be like... I don't mind Zack Snyder as a person. Every single time I see him in an interview...
Yeah, he seems lovely.
He seems lovely. He seems keen. And I think his heart's in the right place.
I'd love for him to make good things.
Yeah. I just think I don't know. It feels like he was like, I've got this idea. We're going to show... we're gonna be female empowerment, and we're gonna show it through the eyes of how evil men are and what they do to women. And the producers went, great, we're gonna cut everything else. So there's just like a big screen behind us, like, look how good I've done women, and it's just women in a horrible setting doing horrible things for our enjoyment. And Zack Snyder going, nuts, no, there was a metaphor here. Please, no, there was a big metaphor. It was meant to be way better. And everyone going, Zack Snyder, you little pervy freak. Jesus Christ.
He comes up with like 40% of a great concept sometimes. Like the Army of the Dead movie, which is a Vegas heist set within a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Great on paper. Great as a log line.
Yeah.
Him executing that.
Is this the new one he just did?
Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Yeah. Just bizarre because it's never fun and they never seem to care about any of the interesting stuff. There is a part where they go through all these dehydrated zombies and they're just like, oh, careful, if it like they get water on them or rehydrate, or if it rains, they will come back to life. And you're like, sick. Can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah.
Never comes back.
I feel like he's got great visual. Like, I knew a great visual thing I want to do, and I'm gonna do that. And I feel like in Sucker Punch it's so emblematic of that because there's like 4 scenes of like action, and there's no story to the action. It's just we're gonna do this, then this, then this, then this, and that's the scene. Rather than we need the tension, we need the ups and the downs. We need our heroes to feel endangered, and they never do. But it just looks visually cool, I guess.
Yeah. I think. Well, so after they've already gone through all of that and this person's died, Oscar Isaac's found out about it all.
He's got the most lines. I feel like Oscar Isaac
It feels like he's like the star of the movie.
It feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I always thought in my head that I quite liked the scene when he finds out their plan and kills a few of them. Because it's shock. I didn't think they were going to do this. Yeah. It's tense. But the credit really goes to not Zack Snyder or the story or anything. It's actually Oscar Isaac's that good in this scene.
Yeah.
He's actually really good in this scene.
It's an absolute... I feel bad for everyone kind of involved because I really do think everyone's giving it a good go.
I think
all the performances are pretty good. All the girls are kind of given nothing except for maybe Jenna Maroney and Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens not... Oh, she's asked to cry in a scene. It's not...
Yeah.
It's not good. But Oscar Isaac gives such a great performance. I looked at the dance scene on deleted scenes. He commits to that as well.
He absolutely commits
the splits.
to it. He is in a different film because he is being so swami and he's being so swami and chatty and
that
a little bit campy
that
and
pencil massage.
And it's like he knows the brief of the... I guess it's almost this. I don't think that the movie, the girls... Okay, so I don't think the fantasy that the girls are in the brothel has a firm grasp on what that is. And so Oscar Isaac is doing campy Moulin Rouge mobster vibes. Yeah. And then the girls are sort of stuck in a more serious, we need to escape this life situation there.
I think so.
And so they're not tonally communicating
because the shooting kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it gets really dark and it's like, well, I didn't feel like the movie was this, which is maybe why. I don't know, it's just the movie hasn't had any stakes. Suddenly it's like, oh wow,
a lot of people are dying. Jenna dies, Vanessa Hutchinson dies, and the other one dies. So I'm just left with Sweet Pea, Baby Doll, and I think just them two.
Yeah, just them two.
Yeah. Which at that point, the film kind of feels like it's like, we need to get rid of some characters.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame that in the first mission, somebody wasn't killed to establish stakes.
Yes.
And then them continuing knowing that we need to get out of here regardless of whether we lose our lives along the way. So weird to leave it to the final mission for something to finally go wrong.
And then drop everything and go, okay, cool. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah,
bang,
that's
done.
right. Yeah, just scatter it. So that it would have been much more interesting if somebody had died earlier.
Do you not think it would be a bit like one person dies per mission as a bit?
I don't think they need to. I think somebody should die on the first mission.
Yeah. Goes well the second.
Second time. They gain a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's a super...
Well, it's that. It's just that down, that up.
Yeah.
And then,
well, it's actually... We literally have just come up with what the normal 3-act structure is.
Yeah.
You know, when it's...
Aren't we clever? Aren't we clever? Zack Snyder's gone for 3 levels, not 3 acts. So
I know. It's very silly to go for the levels. I bet it was his pal that wrote that into the script.
I don't know what his pal was doing. His pal seemed pretty, keen on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the ending. What did you get?
So
at this point, it's only Sweet Pea and Baby Doll left, okay?
Yeah.
everyone else is dead.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to lobotomize them all. She's got days are up.
Yeah.
And Sweet Pea's done.
Yeah.
So
So
now,
we get the. Do you get the escape sequence?
I get Baby Doll stabbing Oscar Isaac. He's done this great monologue, just like, you're fucking nothing. You're goddamn nothing. You better not stab me because I look real bad on me right now. Get stabbed.
Yeah.
It's like, nuts.
No.
They've got the items. They just sort of the escape's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You probably didn't need that key.
The plan's bad.
Yeah.
That's
another thing. It's like you've hyped us up for a escape.
Yeah.
A prison escape, which is great fun, and it's a single door.
Yeah.
Do a bit more with it, you know?
Yeah. It
doesn't feel like you needed to die. It felt like you could have.
feels like you could have opened the door. And
It feels like you could have lit a fire and escaped.
Yeah, I don't know why you needed the map. The door's there.
Yeah, and we saw the map. It's a pretty basic, you know. You've also been here for years, it seems.
It's massive as well. It's needlessly massive.
The map itself, the paper it's on, not the actual map. The map's pretty small. It could fit onto, I don't know, half a ruler. The paper, though, the size of a jumbo jet.
It's so big. You could wrap yourself up in it like a blanket. That's how giant the map on the wall
Roll it
is.
up like a big cigarette and then smoke yourself.
It's true. It's a giant pipe Wile E. Coyote would have smoked out of.
What happens now, Carl? They escape.
Yes. So they escape, and Baby... Oh, my God.
Baby
What's
Doll.
her fucking name?
Baby Doll.
Baby Doll and Sweet Pea. Who named these characters?
There's also like Roxy or Foxy.
I hate that there's blonde for the
Yeah.
one brunette one.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Fucking clever.
That was an SE Zack. That was Zack Snyder's little
Dude,
joke.
absolute. I would never greenlight a script that had that in it. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like in a gangster movie that's like, oh, bring out Tiny. Why is he called Tiny? Because I'm pretty big.
That's a bit better though. That's a bit cheeky. It goes because normally a big guy named Tiny can land.
It's just that he's a bit British.
But
That
if you
sells
got
it.
just like there's Blondie. Which one's Blondie? The brunette.
The brunettes.
But there's a blonde one, so you've really made this confusing. What's the blonde one called? Catherine.
Okay, so that's when Baby Jane. No, what is it?
Baby Doll.
Baby Doll. Baby Doll realizes that it's not about her, and really Sweet Pea, and this is her story.
Oh, that's crazy, because I think mine was a lot more literal. They walk outside and immediately met by goons. They go, all right, I'll distract them, you go. It seemed like yours were had a lot more to it.
Well, I mean, I think it's the same thing. So what are you given context-wise at the end?
It's crazy. I was.
Are you given the, like, she did these things? Does it end on...
So she walks out.
Yeah.
They see the goons.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm going to dance and distract them.
Yeah.
Sweet Pea runs away. She's out.
Yeah. Well, you don't see Sweet Pea hop on the bus?
We see her hop on the bus.
Yeah, with the guy?
I didn't see her grab her clothes. I wrote down a note where'd you get that clothes from? Watch the deleted scenes. She grabbed it from the clothesline.
She did. She got them from the
Yeah,
clothesline.
which I thought was a weird thing to cut.
Sorry. I mean, you always assume there's a clothesline about.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad,
it's on the audience.
It's context clues.
Yeah.
So for me, she kicks that guy, and he's like, "Why I order?" And I shit you not, it's the fastest smash cut. Just bam, lobotomized. And John Hamm goes, "Huh?" Has a glint in her eyes. Oh well, off we go. And then Sweet Pea's on a bus, and it's kind of revealed. I don't think you really get the whole message of.
But is the old guy from the fantasies driving the bus?
The old guy is driving the bus.
Where the fuck did he come from?
I don't know.
He was in. Who was he?
I don't know.
Was the fantasy real? What's going on?
That's my thing. Because it's
It
sort
breaks
of like
the entire illusion.
Because it seems like it was real. It seems like because he was only in the third imagination and he was on her side.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, well, there isn't a metaphor here.
Is that just
like
the dad? Like, what's the...
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It just seems like it's weird to have 3 levels of imagination, but we want a bit from there and a bit from the third one, and then we'll smish it into something.
So do you get the justice when Gina Carano's like figures out Oscar Isaac has been forging her signature?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he rats out the stepdad? Do you get all that in yours?
We sort of get that, but he's been like trailed off. He's been grabbed and run off. It seems like it's... I was more confused at why they let a mental patient kind of run the show. Was that explained a bit more in yours?
Who's the mental patient?
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, is he a mental patient?
He's wearing the garb. He's wearing like the white bib and everything. He's got like a stab wound, and he seems crazy.
Oh, I don't think he...
Do you not think he's a mental patient?
I don't think he was a mental patient.
He was playing it crazy.
So, I mean, maybe it was not well defined in the script.
Yeah.
And he just was like, I'm just going to do my own thing,
Yeah.
Zachy. So,
For me, it seemed like the doctor was like, man, that mental patient's been running the show. He's been doing pretty good. Has he been forging signs? And he's crazy. So I don't know why they allowed that. But it seems like, hey, let's say he was an actual, I don't know, doctor, and the nurse was
I don't think it was a I think it was somebody that worked there that was corrupting the system.
Gotcha.
Because he was being like, I think if you were a bad guy in town, you knew that if you wanted to get rid of somebody, you could take them to the mental asylum, pay that guy $2,000, and he would just speed up the getting lobotomized.
Yes, gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't realize, I thought lobotomy went up through the nose.
No, it goes through the eye.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Rough.
JFK's sister, I think, got it done.
Oh.
It's like a real famous case.
Voluntarily?
No. Rarely is a choice. But
I don't know. Maybe ask that to the end of Shutter Island. Huh?
Oh,
Huh?
okay. Well, fucking ruin that for me, huh?
Huh? Have you not seen Shutter Island?
I had it TiVo'd for tonight.
It's on Tubi.
Oh, Tubi's great.
Tubi's great. Everybody should get Tubi.
Guys, I gotta tell you, you gotta get Tubi.
Yeah.
Second, you gotta get yourself a library card and then download Canopy.
Oh,
okay?
yep.
Just as good. And then SBS On Demand. I've deleted all my streaming services. They're just as good. You're going to get a lot of sad films from the 80s from, I don't know, Bulgaria. But God, they're good. And I guess
you haven't seen a relevant movie in years, but my God, you're well versed in Bulgarian cinema.
Like, did you watch Peeping Tom, the 1960s version? You're like, fuck off. Yeah, so, I mean, so at this point, she's lobotomized. John Hamm's done that.
Yeah.
You get the John Hamm monologue, which I think is crazy they deleted from the extended
Yeah, because I think it's weird they took that. Well, hang on. I think potentially what it is that they didn't have this monologue. And then the movie came out and people were confused. And then for the extended edition, they got John Hamm back. Gotcha. And were like, explain what's going on.
Yeah. Because he pretty much goes...
No bright person in their mind would delete this monologue.
No. Which seems crazy because it's pretty much his... It makes the film not better, but it gives it a little bit like,
it's context.
It's context, and just also like, here's the message. Hey, is consent a thing? If there's freedom, there's a moment. It wraps up a lot of things that makes it a bit like, okay, it's better.
Yeah.
You had like a bit more of a vision for this other than just scantily clad girls.
Just so people know, also, this is still the laziest way to convey your message.
Oh,
the
yeah.
narrator explaining it to you.
I think that's my issue, because constantly people go, you gotta watch the Snyder Cut. And normally it's just the film actually complete, but in the laziest way possible, opposed to the theatrical cut, which is just like, we cut off a bunch of shit. So it's just, I don't think it's Zack Snyder, but I think him personally, he's cutting his film up a bit weird, and then a couple of years later going, I re-released it, and everyone goes, it's pretty good. I'm like, no, it's not. The core is not good. The core's not fun. I hate that people are reimagining this going, you know what? You got to check it out. It's got a much better message. It hasn't. Watch a better film. Watch a better film. We don't need to reclaim this.
Oscar, who would watch Sucker Punch?
I thought it was Horny Boys. I was happy to stand by that. I was like, if you're on Xbox Live and 360 playing Call of Duty Zombies and masturbating, then this is for you. But now I'm thinking that a lot of people gone, you know what? It's a mystery masterpiece. You gotta check it out. How we didn't realize it when we were younger, but now it's a modern masterpiece. I'm thinking people have clued together what the film was trying to do and then gone, well, that's pretty clever, but the film doesn't earn that in any way.
Yeah, they're giving the movie leeway based on...
They've gone, okay, through context clues and the interviews around the film, this is what they were trying to do, but they didn't achieve that. So unless... I don't want Zack Snyder to come out with a cut and then be like, oh, that's pretty good. Because I think... At its core, I'm not a fan. I think it's visually hideous. I think it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
And why? You know, watch a better film.
Yeah.
Al Gahul's right there.
I'm so excited for us to watch House of Gahul.
You gotta watch the Snyder cut though.
No, never. He can't do that because why would you pay to animate more than you need? It's his only movie he can't recut.
What if it's great?
Sorry, Oscar it is. Oscar it is great. I'm telling you, it's Legends of the Guardians, the House of Gahul. Should we do both Legends of the Guardians movies? We'll do Rise of the Guardians and we'll do Legends of the Guardians.
Is that the one with the white hair?
So it's the one with Frosty.
Jack Frost? Yeah.
Sexy Jack Frost.
The one everyone wants to fuck hard.
Yeah.
Not the owl. Because I think the owl, the Jack Frost one, Golden Compass, and dare I say throw in that other Strange Magic film we watched. I feel like
they all came out the same weekend at the box office in my head.
They made a good 40 grand. They made 40 grand each.
I do think I haven't seen the Rebel Moon movies, but I do think Sucker Punch is Zack Snyder's worst movie. This is really just, I think inappropriate is the right word. It just feels like not right. Yeah. Everything about it's not right.
Yeah.
It feels exploitive. It feels dirty. I have seen the version that is apparently 20 minutes longer than it's meant to be, which is yuck, so long.
It's crazy. I feel like I got a shorter version and I was like, ugh, it could have been shorter.
Yeah.
I cut something out. It's complicated for the sake of being complicated.
It is. It's absolutely so.
There could be something here. If it's just the sort of campiness of the fight scenes, I'd be fine with that.
It's purposely convoluted,
yeah,
for the sake of seeming more intelligent than the movie really is. I think that there is maybe nobody for this film.
I mean, but I feel like it stayed in the public conscious. That's what's confused me the most.
Why is it called Sucker Punch?
I read a fucking interview that was like, the audience is getting a sucker punch because the message is that women are cool. So
that can't be right.
It was more.
That can't be why they called it that.
I don't know. I assume Zack Snyder seemed to be like it was like a. I don't know if this is afterwards the fact, but it seemed like it was an attack on his fan base of sort of rabid fanboys and teens, and he was like kind of like a fuck you to them. That was his.
Ones that are keeping his career alive with movies like Rebel Moon.
Oh, that's the thing. Was this before the Batman stuff? So
yeah.
So was Dawn of the Dead his big? Oh, Owls Gahul. That was
he had this Owls Gahul 300.
Oh, 300. Okay, that makes sense. It's a weird. I think that was the intention, almost like a fuck you.
Yeah,
that's what he said, and I guess Sucker Punch is that.
Yeah.
It knocks your head with a message, and then cut the message. So
nothing will beat the fact that I think this movie is a painfully boring film. That's what so many movies you're just like, oh, was I entertained though? Anything like that. This movie has actually nothing going on in it until the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's genuinely just retrieving items and fighting your way through CGI fields where nobody's getting injured or hurt, and there's no stakes. It's pointless. This movie's a pointless venture.
Well, just the action scene, it's just a shame. You've got such an easy, like, Nazi zombies, guns. Like, I'll jump into that. I'll be fine. I'll go for the campness of that, as long as it has something to it. But it's just, we're just gonna slow ramp on guns and stuff
if the movie had decided to be B-movie camp, like something like, or like a Grindhouse picture, so it was like
the machete
Bitch
one?
Slap or Machete or Planet Terror, Death Proof, like... If it had decided to go that way, I think maybe the movie would have been able to get away with some of the stuff it was doing.
I think the message would have been a bit...
Yeah, I think the message might have even come through better. But the movie's actually so up itself, and what it's doing is of importance or in grandeur and matters, and is taken very seriously. Like, potentially this movie could win an Oscar. Like, no, fuck off.
It won 6.
So I'm not surprised. Surely it all went to his pal.
I hope Zack Snyder was trying to wrestle. We've got to get this message. He's like, what if the women were so hard, and what if they were in the short skirts? He's like, I don't know, but the message of feminism, like, and they've got a gun and they suck the gun.
Put that in the script, and the winner is Zack Snyder's pal. Oscar, are we going to do Owls Gahul next week?
Yeah, I think we'll do Owls Gahul.
Shall we do the Owls Gahul
Let's
next
do it,
week?
fine.
Fucking
Fuck yeah.
holy shit. Okay, this is massive for me.
And Zack Snyder, send us an email, askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com if you've got a cut coming out.
Yeah,
we'll
let
save
us
ourselves
know.
with a cut.
Let us know with all these cuts, baby. I want to know if we can expect more Owl. We love Owl.
What if like we finish the thing and go, man, it was really positive for like deforestation, and Zack Snyder comes out, it's like, nah, I've got a cut where the owls are anti that. It's like, Zack.
It's just Fern Gully with owls.
Well, it's just Fern Gully, but we're on the side of the loggers, and rightfully so. We need paper at a discounted price.
I can't wait to go into it because I'm pretty sure I do not know, and I have not fact checked, but I'm pretty sure Owls Gahul is meant to be the beginning of 3 films. So I don't even know if the adventure is actually concluded by the end of the Owls Gahul.
Damn, what could a story of what could owls get up to for 6 hours? There's no way.
He loves just being like, I picture it as a trilogy, no matter what. And you're just like, why is everything a trilogy to you? Why would there be 5 Rebel Moon movies?
Oh, I love that. I'm threatening you guys with that. I've got him in the can. We're ready to go.
All right, until we do the Owls of Gahul. We'll see you next week.
See ya.